Welcome to the Eternal Season 3. Today we have the privilege of speaking with Dr. Siddhartha Rajagopal, Executive Director of the Cotton Textiles Export Promotion Council, an organization that plays a crucial role in promoting the Indian cotton textile industry globally. Dr. Rajagopal is also a key figure in advancing sustainability practices, especially with Kasturi Cotton, a brand known for its commitment to eco-friendly practices. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
So before we begin, could you just give us some insights on the work that you're leading?
No, right now, as you know, TEXPROCIL, the organization where I work, is dealing with exports of cotton textiles, which is right from cotton up to home textiles. Garments are with some other agency. But the value chain from cotton to home textiles is what we are dealing with. And then more importantly, we are now running a program on Kasturi cotton. That is what is one of the branding of Indian cotton through the by what has been named as Kasturi by the government. So this is a cleaner, better, softer, tested, certified, traceable cotton. So these are all the this is the USP of the platform, and it's the first time an effort has been made to sort of brand Indian cotton. India, as you know, is a large producer of cotton in the world, largest acreage, and we are the second largest consumers, second largest producers. Almost 63% of our garments are cotton based. So we have a lot of stake in cotton. And given that background, since we grow a lot of cotton, it was decided to brand Indian cotton. So we are doing that program, which is quite a interesting and fascinating program because we are connected right from the farm up to the retail. So that's one of the major things that we are doing at the moment. Yes.
So before we dive in, let's talk about Kasturi cotton a bit more. Why did we decide to name it Kasturi?
No, actually, it's just one of those things. What is happening here is that it is Kasturi is as you know, is the name of a fragrance, which is found rare in the deer and all that. There is an element of rarity about that fragrance. So, idea was that here is some cotton, which high specifications, which is not the normal run cotton. So you are trying to brand it in a manner that it is amongst the cotton which really will be tried and tested and should give you a better return. So the fragrance of kasturi, as you know, is something which is rare and which is exotic. So this is a cotton which will try to match the best in class. So therefore, kasturi also represents the best in class in terms of the aroma and things like that. So here an effort is made to discover excellence in Indian cotton. Kasturi is a symbol of excellence. So that's how we are looking at it. And that's why the name came in the government system. Plus, it's an indigenous name and it's something which resonates with people in India. And it is something which is that way esoteric in the sense that there's an element of mystery about it. So we are trying to discover this cotton, which is Indian cotton, but with attributes which are not usually seen in Indian cotton. So therefore, that is where the mysticism lies, if you like. Plus, we are also uh, sort of placing it as spiritual cotton. Of course, apart from the fact that India is a spiritual country and various things are known, the reference to cotton also comes in the 16th century, in the Tulsidas's Ramcharitramana. So right from those days, the Indian cotton has been, the virtues of it have been extolled. And so we find references there. So the point we are making here is that all that goes by our legacy, historical, presence are trying to capture into a conceptual reality in the form of Kasturi cotton. So this is what is being attempted. So this is very, very, I would say, an ambitious program, and it seeks to really discipline the cotton economy in India. That's how we look at it.
I'm sure you've been at the center of it, so there's no other person to talk about this other than you. So, speaking of Kasturi cotton, of course, we're talking sustainable cotton. So, the entire value chain knows that the key focus in the textile industry globally is sustainability at the moment. How do you
Yeah.
think that the Indian textile industry align itself with international sustainability goals?
No, as you would have seen, and you're right also, when you raise issues on sustainability has gained currency in recent years. In fact, 5, 7, 10 years or whatever you call time frame. and is almost today defining all the major decisions in the textile value chain. The fact of the matter is that it is a central concern when it comes to textile, business. So concerns about climate change, concerns about saving the planet, concerns about environmental, degradation, deforestation. All these are, of course, issues not necessarily connected to business. They are all part of, let's say, environmental policy, social policy. They're outside the the frame of business. But nevertheless, because of the fact that the consumers and possibly the shareholders in businesses across the world, they are raising concerns on these because they would like some of the processes which are adopted for manufacturing textiles to be part of a discipline. So therefore, these are important concerns which have come. So sustainability has become extremely important, and because consumers and shareholders are voicing it, you also know that consumers and shareholders are voters. They have a strong say in the political system, so they are also influencing government policy. So not only the concerns of the consumer and the stakeholder, but also threats of legislation, either real or the threat that we will legislate this to ensure compliance. So this is becoming an important point, and therefore it is becoming a core activity in almost today in business decisions. So it is important not only because of the fact of the consumer demand, but even by itself. If you look at sustainability on its own terms, it is something which directs you towards, basically reduce, reuse, recycle. So reduce the burden, reuse what is available, recycle the stuff. So you are trying to sort of create a economy which where waste is reduced, where you are trying to see that the climate is not affected. You are trying to see that the carbon emissions which are there, which are important component, they are controlled because there is a lot of it is said a lot of water consumption takes place in the cotton industry. So that is curbed. So all these are something which conserving the resources of the planet. That is where the attempt is, and that is an extremely important aspect. So various things like, as you would have seen, circular economy, that is circularity has come up as a concept. A lot of people are reusing the fibers. Then there is also what is called the designing for disassembly. So you design in a manner that disassembly, that means you can sort of take away the fibers, take out the fibers reasonably easily. So that kind of an economy you develop. You also look closed loop systems. These are systems which are being developed, which again tries to see that you are in a way able to recycle or take back the material. So all that in a reuse manner. So all these will be important, and I think textiles, since it is a product of daily use, it is part of a man's life or a woman's life. And it is very much an essential commodity. You need it like food and housing. So
Right.
therefore, it becomes important. And the planet Earth has to bear the burden of all the discards. So how do
Yes.
you reduce the discards and reuse it? And which is very good. In fact, not only in terms of second-hand clothing, but in terms of shredding it and reusing the thread, which is
Right.
very rather than disposing it off in the landfill. So this is a very important concept which has come up, and I must say brands are sort of adjusting to it. We've got factories which are into producing using circular fibers. I mean, trying to the circular economy. We are
Mm-hmm.
also got in, let's say, Panipat and in, let's say, even Erode, that belt in that area. They're all using. A lot of people have put up specialized
Right.
machines so that this can be used. So it's extremely important from the point of view of the textile industry. Because after all, when you take off a cloth and discard it, you throw it out, so it goes into a landfill. And I mean, after all, it just adds to the waste and the burden. So if you are able to take it out and sort of decompress it and rip it apart and take away the fibers, use them again. So you are basically, to that extent, ensuring waste is not, created. So this is a very important thing as far as we can see in the
Right.
textile
And
industry. Sure.
it'd be entirely wrong to say that the businesses are directly not connected to it because Anyways, the entire like everyone in the textile value chain is also a consumer, so it directly affects each and every one of us.
That's true. It affects every one of us. And therefore, today, what has happened is that the demand has come up
Mm-hmm.
because some of the brands and others have realized that instead of throwing it out, we can sort of reuse it. And there is nothing wrong with second hand. In fact, there's a large market for second hand clothing, and a lot of young people feel that why should you,
Fifty is a thing now, yes.
so it has come up as a market. So it is an important thing considering that the materials that you're using, cotton or viscose or other, they are after all, how much of it is sort of biodegradable? Not
Yeah.
many of it. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, it goes into the ocean depth or it goes into the landfill and it simply destroys the soil. So therefore, there is need to deconstruct it and create and then reuse. So that is the
True.
concept, especially in clothing. The same
Mm-hmm.
thing is happening if you see in waste we are coming out of electronic goods, computers, all kinds of
Yeah.
waste is being thrown out. So that,
Yeah.
of course, also they're trying to see how to use it. So this is very important as far as the textiles sector is concerned. Sure.
So with this, now the growing consumer demand for transparency is also there and the ethical practices. How do we envision that Indian textile brands evolving their supply chain strategies are embracing this sustainability at scale?
I think a couple of things they have done. One is, of course, the production systems have been sort of redefined in the sense that you use sustainable material in your production. Let's say if
Yeah.
it is something like organic cotton or bamboo or biodegradable synthetics, some of
Mhm.
that is the raw material because that's where it starts. And then as you move the production, you see that the factories which are there, which will produce the goods, they
Mhm.
are using what say natural light or let us say even renewable energy, so hydropower and things like that, or even your solar power, wind power, which is now coming up in a big way. So once you manufacture the products, you got to see that if they are environment friendly in the sense that they can be easily you use eco designs. So if you're using eco friendly fibers, you can disassembly them to create designs in a manner that they can be removed. So all these practices in the production process have been put up. That is number one. Number two, they have also seen that they're adopting technologies like waterless dyeing, so that you can reduce the water content in the dyeing
Mhm.
process. Where a lot of water is consumed. Many of them have taken certifications where they are trying to see that, okay, these are the processes we follow. Come and audit our factories, give us the certificates. We gives us the fact that we are using green technology, green methods. Ours are LEED certified factories, which I mean the green certified factories, where all the processes of manufacturing are sustainable in the sense that they meet those norms. The water is recycled, so you can put it back into use. Many of them have put it as to use it for the city water drinking plants. So that way, so what has happened is that on the production side, on the consumer side, and also on the fact that they must create awareness among the consumers and also get the certification and acceptance by international bodies, and finally by collaboration and partnerships. So they are
Mhm.
also collaborating with a lot of these NGOs and international agencies, sort of where who can also give them the credit for what they are doing. That is very important. And finally, what is most important is ensuring transparency of the
Right.
process. The entire
Mhm.
process has been in a transparent manner. An element of traceability is there, which we can trace the origin of the raw material up to the finished product. For instance, TEXPROCIL has got a traceability platform for Kasturi cotton, where we
Right.
write from the we go to the final retail. We got
Yes.
another platform, which is the General Certificate of Conformity (GCC), which
Mhm.
gives you certificates of origin of your goods. And at each stage, you can see that the product line which is being used. Of course, we are also trying to see whether we can integrate the fiber, requirements and the fiber matching or some like that EU's digital passport,
Right.
where the percentage of fibers in each of the product lines, if that
Mhm.
can be mapped. Good. So that is also an effort we are trying to do. So all these are methods by which you will be able to control the consumption of the raw material which go into
Right.
the product. and which will finally be consumed by the customers and the consumers and the brands and others, down the road.
I was talking to someone earlier today, and they basically had a plan about how the farmers are also, since we're talking about traceability from farmers to the final product. I was told that they've come up with a plan which revenues directly to the farmer for the data that they're sharing, not just the crop, but the data that also has come up from the farm.
So, you see, there are traceability models are different models at different places. Number
Right.
one. Now, I mean, there is a traceability model which, let's say, CCI has from the farm to the gin. So
Mm-hmm.
each farmer to the selling to the CCI, there is a traceable platform. Our traceability platform for the Kasturi starts from the gin, but the gin also gives you the origin of the cotton. Let's say it's coming from this part of the country. Let's say one gin about 100 kilometers, you have the gins and the farms around that area. And they will be then, let us say, the region, that region, you can get the pin code number, the postal code number. And then
Right.
once you get the code number, you can map it on a Google map. The latitude,
Okay.
longitude you can go. So these farmers are located here. And those farmers, the produce is being sold and they are being procured from there. So that can be number one. Number
Right.
two, farmers also get the premium for their product. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if they get the quality and the farmers are ensured of some premium. Even in Kasturi, the idea is that there is a premium generated because it's better cotton, cleaner cotton. So the farmer is assured of a premium on the produce that he is submitting to the chain. And therefore, the traceability will be able to tell you right from the farm and right across to the retail. Every stage, the product will be mapped. So this is an important aspect that we see coming up in a major way to ensure sustainability. Because after
Right.
all, everybody would like to see the product movement right from the raw material to the finished part. So that's how we look at it.
So you already answered my next question, which was how important do you think the collaborations with international organizations, the brands, and even the government in furthering sustainability efforts are? But do we have any information on these collaborations? Have we done any of these collaborations with the government or any of the international organizations for Kasturi Cotton?
So we have actually what has happened now for Kasturi Cotton, we have entered into some MOUs, memorandum of
Right,
understanding, like PCI, Better Cotton Initiative. That's there also. Then we also have we have all gone with this other Cotton Connect is
right.
another platform which is doing sustainable cotton. We are
Mhm.
also in touch with this GIZ. There's another German platform which is working here. So all
Right.
these are areas plus some of these international alliances for worker safety, workers protection. That is there. That also we have been in touch with, of course, through not directly but indirectly. Let us say we have been talking through our intermediaries. So
Mm.
some of these are platforms where we have tried to see how at the international level we are able to sort of position our products and our cotton and to leverage the advantages of these
Right.
collaborations. So that's definitely, as you know, BCI is an important platform.
Mhm.
20% of the world farmers are registered there. So we have
Yeah.
run into a program. We are trying to see how sort of we can leverage their advantages and they take
Mhm.
the advantage of our cotton that we are producing here. So that's how we look at it, and it's an ongoing process. The
Sure.
collaborations keep coming, happening. We're talking to so many people. So definitely, the idea is to get leverage at the international level through the presence of these agencies.
Right, as it is known as the Indian cotton. So, of course, the international alliances are just as important as any of us being connected. Which finally, now the Kasuri cotton is renowned for its commitment to sustainability. So, how do you think Kasturi cotton integrates sustainable practices to align with the larger goals of the Indian textile industry?
You see, Kasturi cotton is specifics based, as I said, specification based.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody and sustainable cotton is at the farm end. You see, there's the farm gate where the cotton is produced. through
Right.
sustainable practice of sustainable practices of at the farm end. So at the farm, when the cotton comes out, then it is available and it can be tested on the Kasturi platform. So all the cotton that can be BCI, region agri, your organic cotton, your all other types of cotton, they are free to come and log into our Kasturi portal. So
Mhm.
our Kasturi portal is an open access platform. So
Right.
you get your cotton and come to Kasturi platform. And then once the Kasturi certification is given to you, that is, you are able to meet the parameters of Kasturi, then you get not only you already have a certified sustainable cotton with you, which has got all the which is meeting all the parameters of sustainability, but you also
Right.
have the Kasturi label. So that's how we look at the partnership. So in that context, we haven't done BCI, Cotton Connect, Region Agri also we are working, where a control union is working in that. So all that is being put together. So that's how we are looking at it. So sustainable cotton at the farm end is most welcome to join the Kasturi platform and then offer its lots for Kasturi test. So once the Kasturi test is passed, so
Mhm.
you are already a sustainable cotton. You also get the Kasturi label on your cotton. That's how we look at it.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah.
how are these farmers? So we're talking about the farmers registering themselves on that portal. How are we to educate them about these? Most of these farmers are still not educated and they don't understand the internet and these portals. So how are we trying to do that? How is since we're
That's a very
promoting
good,
this cotton from them?
very good question. I think you asked a very good and very pertinent. The point is for farmers and others. Number one, the generation of the farmers also changing. Many of them are already using your iPhones and
Right,
your modern phones. That is number
right.
one. Number two, we are having workshops. Even day before yesterday, we had a workshop where our
Mhm,
people go to the farm through, let us say, some of these agencies which are there,
mhm.
which are in working with the farmers and government of India agencies also, CIRCOT and others which are who own that. And we go to the farmers, explain to them the various requirements for creating a Kasturi lot or to take safeguards, like safeguards in picking, safeguards in, let's say, packing, safeguards in sort of, into making bundles and stacking
Right.
them,
Uh-huh.
safeguard in moving it by, let us say, after all, cotton moves in different ways in India, as you know. It goes by
Right.
tractor, it goes by truck, it goes by bullock cart. So various
Right.
ways it moves. So
Mhm,
take precautions in that. So there is an awareness and education program, which we have
right.
we have tied up with quite a few agencies, and we carry out those programs. The idea is to reach out to the farmers, explain to
Mhm,
them how they can, improve their understanding, and also tell them about sustainable practices, tell them about the advantages of sustainable cotton, and
mhm,
sort of motivate them to try and use sustainable practices. So that is all part through workshops and through seminars and
mhm.
with reach out programs that we are doing. This is a continuous part of our program at the gin and at the farm level. We are doing that
Right.
continuously, directly
Okay.
with the farmer and through the gin to the farmer. So both ways we are doing that.
How was the response? Are the farmers eager about all of these programs? Are they showing up?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Why not? After all, awareness is something which has to be built up. So they
Okay,
are
sure.
taking,
With what we have heard from over the ages, it's basically that they're reluctant about reaching out to people and even talking because there has been a lot of conversation going on, but they don't see, most of it materialize. So they've been reluctant. So we just needed to know if they're very eager about it, if they're interested in the idea of Kasuri cotton is very interesting for sure. Naming it as Indian cotton, we have always known Giza cotton, Egyptian cotton, types of cotton, whereas India is known for cotton. So how is the response there? Are they looking forward to it? Are they interested about learning about the portal itself?
of course, of course. I mean, we have a large gatherings. We go through these farmer producers organizations, FPOs, you heard of them? They are there, training programs through FPOs, through associations, and lots
Right,
of farmers are interested. We take them on through the ginners because the farmer gets it to the gin and the gin
right,
becomes the face. After all, in India, one gin and let's say 7,000 farmers. So they are spread over 50 to 80 kilometers. The ginner is the one who, the farm is where the cotton comes and then it is ginned. And part of
Right.
it is you for clothes, the other goes for, the seed extraction of oil and all. So definitely farmers are interested
So the
because they,
channel
some
is
of them,
strong there.
sorry,
The communication channel is strong there. It's not fragmented as we've heard.
no, not really. I mean,
Right.
the FPOs have also come up, farmer
Hmm.
producers organizations. Government has encouraged their formation. So they
Right.
represent a set of farmers. So it's not, it's like so they all get together. So you have a forum for that. It's not one farmer talking to one man. A
Mhm.
collection of collective body is created. So they are able to address a number of farmers through one platform. So that way, yes, definitely, people are interested because
The
everybody is
language that they
looking for a
understand.
good price. And when we are saying that the premiums will be there, so people
Right.
will like to get good price. The farmers would like to get good price for
For
what they are
sure.
producing.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your invaluable insights.
Thank you
That's
very much.
bring us to the end of the conversation. Your work with the Cotton Textile Export Promotion Council and the story is really inspiring. We look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you and how these initiatives continue to shape the future. Thank you for
Right.
joining so much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you so much.